What is
Well,
going on, everyone? And welcome to Sarcastic Stocks. This is our week in review happy hour. I am Meta Matt, live with Amma Jamma. How we doing, Amy?
hey, how are you doing? How's everybody doing today?
Good, good. So let's just get right into it. I know
Sounds
AMC has
good.
been the talk of the town, so we're going to have our first segment, the AMC Apes, where we talk about the different comments on different socials about AMC. We'll discuss it, give our 2 cents. And I know, yeah, like we were
Sorry.
saying, no, you're good. I know
Good
your
old
dog is
dogs.
loves AMC, right?
Be quiet. They haven't been on YouTube in a while. I've got that first microphone thing and it's not on today. Okay, so here we go. So I just, this is the type of comment where I kind of, if you read it in that, that tone of someone that really knows what they're talking about, you can almost believe it. AMC, the ridicule of meme stocks and stupid low ratings of AMC is denial. These hedge funds may know we can win, but if they sell the denial narrative, we see some aggression of anger and Cliff Asness and Kramer who come out aggressively against retail, likely because they are stuck in a short position and think they could bluff their way out. The bargaining will be trying to get us to sell it for a lower price. I mean, they'll tell us what a big win it is, anything over $70, or send shills saying they're selling money to try to influence our choices. The precedent will set in for them. And when the prison sentences are being given out and acceptance when they find Jesus while behind bars. I
Oh,
mean,
wow. Talk about get the hats out and everything with the aluminum
can we
foil.
can we just hit on that for a second? Because here's the thing, Matt, and this is why, I have some respect for resiliency, but who is they? Because here's the point. Shorts were covered a year ago. There's no one holding shorts from the beginning of 2021. There's no one holding shorts from when we were at $70. I mean, there's a reason that Citadel reported like a $20 billion loss Q1 of 2021 because they covered their shorts. They got their butt kicked. And that's the reality of it. And hey, I want to see everybody make money. I'm with the best of them. Don't get me wrong. But, and then we've got a couple little ones too here. I mean, here we go. Right here, we got some Gorilla Glue. I think that one's just funny. So I poured it all over my. So they are super glued to their shares. This is emotional trading, people.
Yeah, that's
All right.
the step above Diamond Hands is Gorilla Glue Hands.
And here's a good one. If every stockholder buys one, we could buy 5 million a day. Not financial advice, and does not spell advice wrong. Run the other way. Like we're not advising, we're advising. So it's crazy, and I made a lot of money on AMC. I alerted it a lot. I'm not hating hodling. I'm not, but of course there's stuff that goes on, black market stuff that goes on behind the scenes. We know that. But at the same time, trade what's making you money that day. And it's not AMC. I mean, we could get some nice runs and we'll play them as they come up. So
you think the this short squeeze that everyone keeps talking about, even after it already happened, you think it's not going to happen again?
it happened.
That's exactly.
Yeah, it happened. $70. The stock went from like $1 to $70.
And
It went like
these aren't like companies that are, building, futuristic technologies and this, that, whatever. So my question is, I get, the Wall Street bets or whatever you want to call them, the apes, why aren't they just shifting that mentality from AMC or GameStop to other legitimate short squeeze stocks like Cooler Technology, companies that have like a legitimate future that are being short squeezed?
And that's exactly true. I mean, Cooler is one that, I mean, it's like under $2. It's ridiculous and there is those stocks out there you could find at really good prices that are, worthy of buying. Like you want to talk about short squeeze this night. Here's another one. All right. We have SSNT, and this came up today. And it said, don't miss out on this one. You want to be early on this parabolic squeeze. This was from this morning. And if we pull up the SSNT chart, which I'm going to do right now. I forgot to share my screen. Sorry, guys. Here we go. All right. So he had made this comment and hey, you know what? Everybody who wants to believe in a short squeeze, more power to you. But I mean, here, let's put on that. We pop on that 5-minute chart and it just went straight down all day. That post was made right at this time right here. I mean, the squeeze was coming. You know, he made that post when it was over 570, and we're now at 352. Keep holding. That's why be really careful, because sometimes stuff sounds really great that you'll see on Webull and you'll see on StockTwits. And people do sound like they've got great information. But the reality is, everybody thinks they're an expert. Everybody thinks they know which way the market's going to go. And for me, I always tell you guys this: anyone who says for sure they know where the market will be next week, run the other way. We are all compiling all the data we have and making educated, not really guesses, more than guesses, but you know, like there is no guarantees in the market. If there was, we would all be rich.
Right.
So
The only
just
the only thing I can guarantee that is for sure is that the market will be here next week. So there's no rushing into it. You know, there's
exactly.
no like, oh, it's always gonna be the next short squeeze, then the next big runner. And like you said, it's easy to get caught up. And because here's the deal. It's so easy for anyone to sell something that's going up, or the stock's going up. It's easy to sell
Yep.
it. Like, so that's why you have these people who are these salesmen out there trying to sell their bags, or trying to sell these stocks, to pump it up so they can then sell to you and make profit. And it's just, you got to be careful who you listen to out there, especially in Weeble comments.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more on that. That is the truth. So all right, so next
Yeah,
let's
speaking
go
of
to our
Weeble
next.
comments, right?
Yes, we do have some Weeble comments, but actually we're going to shake it up a little bit,
No,
and
also
we're gonna do
Kramer.
some Kramer here. Let's do some Kramer. All right, so in this segment, we pretty much show you guys where a chart was when Kramer made his comment and where it is now. And the first one we're going to start with is we've got Amazon. All right, so here's Kramer's comment, July 29th. Remember this date. All right. So he says, I think there may be more to come. And Amazon's workforce declined by 99,000 in quarter one, a record drop due to warehouses, pandemic driven expansion, this and that. So basically saying, ooh, that Amazon's in a rough place, be careful, this and that. That was July 29th. There is where he said it. And there's Amazon now. So we moved 10% from when he puts his news story out, and we had that bearish sentiment with Amazon, and we moved, uptrended the whole way. So, and that's the thing, Kramer, someone who's been working behind, we do have the anti-Kramer ETFs, all this stuff, like truly channels that go against. Sorry, I'm back. Sorry about that. Did you guys lose me for a second there?
Yeah, just for a second there.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened to my cable. So anyway, we were talking about Kramer there. And there's a couple other examples here. We've got Hood. He's Robinhood laying off 23% of their staff. He's been hating on Robinhood adamantly. All right. So the date on that is August 3rd. Here's where Robinhood was August 3rd, uptrending the whole time. Same thing with Walmart. This is the second time in 2 weeks we're talking about Walmart, because he said it again a couple days ago. And Walmart did have another dip, but he says that. Here's our chart since he said it. So, it's a good example of the analysts don't necessarily always have it right, and Kramer especially has it wrong quite often. So that's one we like to exploit a little bit just to have fun, so and also, so this segment we didn't see last time. We're going to do this segment today, and it's Eloquent Elon.
Oh,
All right, let's see some Elon tweets, guys. All right, so I've got this one. I think this one's interesting and one to talk about. So we know that Elon is in this battle with Twitter, where he believes that most of the people are bots. At least 5% are fake and spam. All right. So he puts this poll out and literally says Twitter has spoken, because 65% of people do believe that Twitter has a very high number of bots and spam. And I'm wondering, I know you're informed on this too, Matt. What do you think about? Do you think he's trying to get the company for less money? Do you think he's trying to get out of the deal altogether? What do you think?
I know recently he just said that, he's willing to do the deal if Twitter can, give the right amount of, users and all that. And, now he's challenging to like a public debate. I think honestly, I think that Twitter might be right in this one. I think that Elon maybe saw this as a big media opportunity. Elon loves to shake the boat and make things happen, and I think he saw this as an opportunity for that to happen. Made this deal maybe without realizing the implications, and now the market went down, Tesla's down, even the stock Twitter's down, and like he's realizing maybe this wasn't a good idea after all. But or on the other hand, maybe maybe he actually wanted to buy this thing, and it has to do with the bots. But I mean, I feel like the bots just wouldn't be enough for him to create this whole lawsuit and make all this happen. Like maybe drive the price down, but it sounds like he's trying to back out completely. So I don't know. It sounds a little sketchy to me. But Elon's he's something. He's funny.
Elon's Elon, and he loves, we talk about this all the time. If Elon's not in the news, he's not happy. So
Exactly.
Elon makes sure he's in the news. It works for him. It works for his brand. I agree with you. I think that the acquisition of Twitter was not good for his brand, good for Tesla overall and what he's trying to do. It makes something, it makes when you open up with that gigantic second purchase, it makes that first stake so much less exclusive. And I think that was part of the problem. Tesla stock did not react well to it. And then when there was hints of the deal not going through, Tesla stock reacted well. So I 100% do agree with that. And we'll wait and see. I mean, we're always going to be talking about Elon. I mean, he gets his own segment here on the show because of it. So,
Look at
and
Elon.
then good old Elon, I'll tell you what. So, all right. So this one I want to see, we're going to see what Cathy bought the last couple days. So this is Cathy's cutting cops, what she added to what she sold, this and that. Cathy Woods bought, I believe, $60 million worth of NVIDIA.
Wow.
Just this week. That's quite a large amount of NVIDIA. I like NVIDIA at this price as well. NVIDIA had a little bad news with earnings, kind of a meager outlook, forward guidance for the next week or so, or for the next quarter or so. So I thought that was interesting. Another one she's that had some big buys across multiple platforms is TDOC. She bought it in the fintech fund. She bought it in the genome fund. She bought it in K, and she bought it in W. So she bought it in 5 funds a couple days ago. TDOC is looking really good where it's at. Actually, let me pop the chart up. We'll pull up some TDOC. I actually do like TDOC here. I was talking about that earlier today. I think it looks fantastic where it's at. If we pop on the daily, you can see here, of course, we're not down at that 27. We had that gap down with earnings. TDOC has been crushed with earnings a few times. So I think that TDOC's finally getting to a good valuation price where it actually makes sense, the price it's at. So I like it anywhere under 35. I'm not necessarily buying at 37, 38. If you could scoop that up under 35, though, I think it's definitely a buy.
It sounds like with that first one, NVIDIA, it sounds like she's kind of like buying the fear almost with that, the fear from the outlook for the next quarter.
Absolutely. And NVIDIA is another one. If I pop up the chart, had a sell-off due to it. And I mean, this is a company that was up towards $400 not too long ago. And we hit down to 140. I think she bought right around 165, 170. And it's already had a little nice push since then. And NVIDIA under 200 is a good buy. That's just the reality of it. Especially if you're holding it long. That's the thing. A lot of people are apprehensive to get into positions because we're, 10, 20% off that bottom, but we're still 70, 80% away from the top we had. So it's not necessarily a do not buy zone, in my opinion. I still really do like the setup there. So that's a couple. I like both those buys. So I agree with Cathy this week.
So once again, we're agreeing with Cathy and disagreeing with Kramer.
Always. I mean, that seems to
Always.
definitely be the common theme here. I'll tell you what. So before we get to the pick of the week, Duck, what do you got for news? Let's hear it.
All right. So I wanted to get your take on this. I actually just finished. It's not up yet on my YouTube, the MetaMat TV YouTube. Cade and myself. Cade is a NFT Web3 influencer YouTuber. We did a whole segment on this, this Andrew Tate guy, and all the drama involving that. I know as far as he's concerned, he has this new cryptocurrency going on. Top G coin is what they call it. He's calls himself the most famous man on the internet. So as all famous celebrities do when they get that big spark of of fame, and all these people watching them, they decide to try to make a money off of it, try to, I think pump and dump these people. But I want to see what you have to say about this. Do you think that this is just another celebrity, like a Floyd Mayweather or whatever, like a pump and dump, or do you think this is actually a legitimate coin? He actually cares about his holders and all that stuff.
I mean, let's look at the guy in general and what he became famous for. And like it just a very satire, negative, just influence, beating women with a belt and this and that, and just crazy, crazy stuff. So I'll tell you a couple of things. First of all, like any other pump and dump meme coin, crap coin out there, it can absolutely get a massive push. It's not a long-term hold. If you get in at a decent level and we get some push behind crypto in and out, same thing with SHIB, same thing with SafeMoon, same thing with all these coins. I mean, they do get a pump, but if you don't get out within that pump, you're stuck. I mean, I think SafeMoon from last year is down 99.999%. And the original SafeMoon, you can't even sell anymore because you had to transfer it to a different SafeMoon. So, and everybody said this was going to the moon a year ago. With Andrew Tate in general, I mean, if you compare it to other celebrity influenced crypto projects, that I don't think that necessarily means too much.
Right.
We've got a couple people like in the NFT space that have pretty big names when it comes to NFTs and with that are social media, and a lot of celebrities buying things like Yacht Ape Club, all those. But with crypto, it's not quite as cut and dry. So for me, I think the name doesn't mean much, and I mean, I'm not a fan of them, so I'm a little bit about it.
What do you think about his Hustlers University? I know that they do the cryptocurrency, and this is your way to make. I'm on TikTok, and I see people going
Yeah.
on there like it's a scam. I tried it, it's BS, and I see people who are probably getting paid to post about it, and oh, I made this much money, this and that, whatever. From what I've heard, it sounds like it's just like another famous person who's put a bunch of like random signals out for some bot, and posted a
Yeah.
bunch of links and places you could read. But he's not actually there. Obviously, there's no one actually teaching you. I could be wrong. I
Yeah.
haven't taken myself. I want to see where this thing's at 6 months from now. I call bullshit. Like honestly,
I mean, I agree. I call bullshit too. And here's the thing: we know that with things like this in general, a couple things. First of all, we've seen it. We've had like the Jake Paul learn how to be a social media influence stuff, and all sorts of different. And it's usually the influencer type that came from a reality show, came from this or that. It's a product to be sold, and what he's teaching is whatever was people paid for him to teach. So I think it's just a big, to me, it's just a big elaborate, advertisement. It's a walking
pyramid. It's a
advertisement.
pyramid scheme. They're paying
Yep.
people like 50%, per sign up, and like you get paid to post. And so it's ridiculous. Like I don't know. And then that's not just for the crypto thing. I'm talking about for the whole his whole
Yeah.
hustlers thing where you can learn to talk to women and just that. What I don't know. Whatever. I know you just mentioned Jake Paul. The last thing I wanted to bring up was actually his company, BETR. Better. I know they obviously don't have a ticker or a stock, but like basically they're doing micro betting. So, it's kind of like what DraftKings does, but instead of, betting on just, the game, oh, I bet that the Mets are going to beat the Yankees. Instead of that, you're actually betting on each individual play. So you can bet, hey, I bet you that, this next pitch that is going to be over 80 miles per hour. It's going to be a curveball, or they're going to hit it to left field. It's micro betting, which, Jake Paul, I guess he's really big about, and he teamed up with some big names, some big CEOs, and both in the entertainment industry and also in the business world. And they're creating he's creating like a podcast around it, like a whole social media platform. He wants to revolutionize sports betting, like he did to boxing. Do you think that this is something the DraftKings ticker should worry about, like the stock? Or
I mean, not necessarily worry, but yes, in a way, because here's the thing: the people who spend the most money on bet type sites are impulsive people, and you want to bet now, you don't want to wait. It's the same thing, like you've got. on Facebook, all these rooms, and I actually enjoy them too. You've got these rooms where you can, win sport cards and this and that, but it's the lines that do the best and the bets that do the best are the ones where you get that instant gratification.
Mm.
And with this, you get to be impulsive. You can overspend. Wait, I mean, you're appealing to the dark side of the addictions, the underbelly, all this stuff, and most things in our society that make money do appeal to that. So I'm not hating on that part of it, but I think it's huge for someone, or if you're on tilt and you lost a game, a bet, this or that, you get to immediately bet again. You don't have
Right.
to wait for that game to end, this and that. And I think that's huge for the people that will spend big money on it.
Mm.
I think
I
it'll
mean,
be big
yeah.
money spent, not little dabbles, this and that. I think it'll be people are on there all day betting this, betting that. They'll get a loyal customer base quickly with that type of betting.
It's literally the casino of sports betting because, like you said, like at the casino, you're pressing that button and you're doing that. They hand a blackjack, you lose. It's, oh, well, I'll just do the next one and the next one, the next one. And now, with sports betting, like you said before, you had to wait for the end of the game, the next game, whatever to start. If we wait 4 hours to see what happens, now it's you could bet on every pitch or whatever it may be, every inning, however you want to do it. It's I think is really good. I think it has the potential to kind of revolutionize sports betting and how that's going to work. And I think that DraftKings, they are the biggest brand out there. I think they're probably going to figure that out and maybe make their own version of it. Or
Yeah.
I know a bunch of companies try to buy his out for up to like around 40, big numbers. And so I'm curious to see what DraftKings does and how it reacts to this.
I agree. And the biggest bets out there, the most popular bets out there are the prop bets where people don't want to bet on the Super Bowl. They're betting that, Matt Stafford gets over 300 yards while, OBJ gets a touchdown and over 50 yards from him. And they score at least 35 points. And you've got those prop bets stacked on top of each other. That's what's popular. So this really plays off that. And most people I know aren't just betting a straight bet because my husband likes to bet too. I like to bet some sports stuff. It is the prop betting. It is the fantasy football where you go into DraftKings, you pick your whole team. You're not just betting on the game. You're picking each player and you get to watch and there's the buildup and this and that instant. So I like it. I think it's pretty cool. I think it'll do good as long as it's a smooth running interface and they don't have too many technical issues.
Right. Well, we did hit that 20-minute mark. If anybody has any questions, you can feel free to head over to the Discord. We have a free section, premium section. I see there are some questions out there on tickers. We can answer those in the Discord for you. Just go to the Stock Talk, either the premium or the free sections. We'll be able to answer all those for you. But like I said, we did that 20-minute mark. So anything else from you, Amy?
Yeah, I just want to go. I'm going to go over my pick of the week and we will get on out of here. So this week last week we had picked Vail. And when I put out Vail at a week ago today, we were right around like 1270. We have $14 today. So if you picked this up with us last week, you hit 8, 9, 10% because we popped on here last week and we had a nice run up. This week, Palantir. We had a sell off with earnings over the last couple days. One of my favorite stocks anyway. We're finally starting uptrend after a couple day dump on earnings. We're under $10. This is a company, government contracts, everything else, this, that, and the other. If you look at this trend line right here, this would be naturally where we bounce anyway. So I like Palantir under 975, preferably under 950. Good to go. This is a longer hold. Look at this for at least 3 months, $11 in 3 months. And these stocks that I do mention like this, we are 100% going to come back and look at these charts and update you guys on these charts. So I've got Vail and Palantir for our sarcastic picks so far, and we will update these weekly. So come back every week, get your next pick. And that's all I got.
Awesome.
Right on.
And like I said, anyone who has any questions, I see one on HLALB. Just make sure to ask us. You can tag myself or Amy in the Discord. We'll make sure to get that question for you. But until next time, we hope that you all make some bread, as always.